It appears that the ISIS and other chaos agent organizations in the Middle East who claim to do it under the guise of being of or for the Islamic faith are under false pretenses, as these organizations are using the religious stance to instigate or provoke a response from the West. Because as much as it's discussed, there are many in place to already begin a rhetoric and lobbying game to make for the political push and advocacy for war, both sides being of false reasoning, false character, and false representation. While there's the denial of Satanism generally by an aloof sense of complacency and conjecture is dismissed and is just regarded as being nothing more than superstition or the subject of mockery to make such a claim that exist, including those who, of course, are also within the organization itself, being a religion itself, although is a deception and generally murder, self-exaltation, and degeneracy of no goodwill. Besides it being denied so much so that it is now being represented as simply an atheistic humanism secular religion with no actual matters of malevolence or spiritual or supernatural connotations. All the while secret societies and the practices of demonic communication and endeavors being carried forth by what has been generally the major aspect of Hollywood's culture and the hidden community of deception that do these things and are practiced by a global death cult, who have shown it with the hush symbol of secrecy shown to the public by the Hollywood's prominent actors, including its branch that is the music industry. Both the extremist groups, the military West, the political administration, and Hollywood's Institute of Entertainment, Distraction, and Indoctrination, all making for what is an agreed aspect to carry out a plan for mass genocide and possibly a global scale. Where Russia and China are included in the endeavor is yet to be seen, since both are communist parties with mainly dictatorship ideologies. Extremist groups of the Middle East claim to be of Islam or Muslim may not be, but using religion and likely working for the same. There are those who exalt Satanism and its other forms, including Luciferianism, throughout the world. Why wouldn't there be those in the Middle East who have done the same, not being of the Muslim or Islamic faith, but generally positioning themselves in the place of jihad and authority to disregard people of its established community and beliefs were canon. If a well-established political figure or celebrity is assassinated in the near future, the 2024 elections before or after election become seemingly relevant matter in the public's eye, it will more than likely, whether self-perpetrated as a false flag or not, will be used for the endeavor of propagating war and spearheading the narrative for what's been called the World Reset, Great Reset. Nationalism being the same, patriotism, faith in true Christianity, and goodwill will be in the midst of the World War effort to concert a global genocide. Both implements of biological warfare and genetic vaccination may have likely been used as application for eugenics. Virus after virus is let out into the population by what has been made apparent biological manipulation and pharmacological alteration to the human genome through genetic modification, then there is the likeliness that the efforts of the 60s sexual revolution deployed by the CIA through administration of drugs which have been confirmed by many government documents as part of MK Ultra experiments and has also been stated by documentaries by the History Channel, persuaded the population along with magic practitioners of Babylonian magic, making the way for once again the acceptance of not homosexuality but the subjectivity and proliferation of any kind of fornication to bring back the culture of Babylon, Egypt, the Roman Empire. It is now a modern full acceptance of those fallen ages of man, of our fallen world, to a reemergence of as the times of Noah, forsaking man to the will of the devil having claimed the authority as man has squandered all of what God has given, and in doing so, being given to the transhumanistic reintegration of Nephilim hybridization into the population through the proliferation of defacement of the human identity through what is now known as LGBT plus indoctrination, and gender fluidity will no longer be the norm, as there will be no norm. The 72 gender designation proposal by John Money and its exploration and consideration into the 21st century is likely a major precursor to transhumanism indoctrination for humanity's future descent, although humanity will no longer be of deemable definition, as what we will know is as the days of Noah. The lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, and they, as an organization, had claimed more than these four biases or criteria, to become more as the genetic pollution allows for what people are left to as it had been said, transhuman. What, God knows. I don't, but it's become clear the devil is at work, and the great deception is already in place and has been for some time. All was required of us to have avoided this was to do three things: love God, love our neighbor and fellow man and women, respect them as ourselves, and be watchmen on the wall by simply having talked it through rather than avoiding the God-given right to critical thinking, not averting the subject of what is well-known fact, that not theory, and in not theory, as conspiracy is found all throughout history in just about any historical book. The 20th century commodity of convention and entertainment. The 20th century commodity of convention and entertainment has made for the complacent view that speaking about anything that makes us uncomfortable is somehow a bad thing, although it was through the very means that answers would be found if only we had done so. We had more than 20 years to do so. The chemtrails in the sky, GMOs in our food, engineered nanomaterials polluting the landscape and also being implemented into the food supply. 5G, 6G, or whatever tech that is seemingly being used for what purpose? In genetic alteration by genetic technologies implemented in medicine. What are we second guessing? Since it's not speculation. What was, what was presented to us was not a Carl Jung view of the world, the work of actual good and evil in the world by forces by which are just that. They go beyond the purview of man into what I do not know much about. Truth that goes beyond the realm of what is of man. God, good, and evil is enough for me to know. And in the end, we will need Jesus Christ, his righteousness. Because if there's demons, then there's those that are not. Just as night and day, water and fire, up and down, right and wrong, love and hate, holy and profane, good and evil, God and the devil, creation and destruction, truth and deception, heaven and hell, life and death, liberation and enslavement, freedom and imprisonment, the innocent and guilty. The holy and profane does not change, and thankfully these things do not change. God is good, and he has already presented us with the truth. I'm just a man, and I will remain a man till I die.